Hello and welcome to the next episode of this series, which is all about this Lego room and of course my life. And today it is all about adding base plates in a colour that I've never ever used before. We're going to be adding jet black base plates to the Batman section of the theme park. So everything's been placed over multiple weeks. So we've got different areas. So we've got the Batman going down the alleyway into the Harry Potter, which is then obviously kind of merged and bodged with Dungeons and Dragons and Stranger Things, but you've got all that kind of thing together. Skipping this table, we then got all of the Winter Village bits and pieces. Then we've got some Star Wars displays that we're going to be putting together, and I have started to put in all of the different paths of all of the different bits and pieces. And then on the other side, we're going to view the same thing with different colours of streets and that kind of thing, and then eventually it'll do a full circle around the room. But we are focusing on this corner, and I've got to figure out what colour I'm actually going to put on the base plate, because obviously we'll use the grey outer edges for the tiling, but I'm going to see if I've got a really nice vibrant blue. So I think the blue against the black will look very, very good indeed. And then depending on how well that goes with regards to the base plates going down, we will add in the base plates for the rest of this table as well, all going well. Because this is the disaster series and it doesn't always go to plan. So with that being said, let's get to it. So the first thing I need to do is finally move the UCS Venator box, because it's been there a little while and it is in the way for what is going to be the next display, which I'm extremely looking forward to, which is actually getting all of the Ninjago bits and pieces together. Now, by the time this video that we're doing now has been uploaded, the new set would have already been released. So I want to have a beautiful Ninjago display, full length, all the way across the back. Now, to make that work, we have already done some measuring of different bits and pieces, and that is something that I do want to go back over again. Now, I can't flat pack this box yet until I've actually finished the UCS set, because I want to have it in the review video. So that's basically why I'm making a bit of a faff of what I'm making a faff of. And then this thing will either get sold, used for parts, or whatever else. I know exactly what I've just done. I don't know. I think I can still reach you. I think I can still reach you. And this box is heavy. It's empty because it's just got the other instruction booklet in it. So we've got a little bit of space. I can't quite get around the camera. Can't quite get around to reach you. But there we go, full length. So the stuff that's on the floor and the stuff that I've moved is going to be sorted out off camera, because there's going to be a nice Star Wars display going underneath that. But what we are focusing on now is all of this. So I'll get the lights back round, so I'll make the other side of the room dark, and we are where we are with this. Now, I have been looking forward to doing this for a long time, and I think it's finally time to add in these base plates so it all matches up nicely when we get round to doing the other stuff for Ninjago. Because on this side, I just threw some base plates down and we're going to add in this spring lantern on that side, but I think it should look quite nice. He says all going well. So I am pretty sure, if I have remembered rightly, that the base plate for the new Ninjago one is to the side of the shadow box. So what I have got is a pack of these. So we're going to start off with the black and work our way down. I think what I'm also going to do, because I'm a bit cautious of getting this wrong, because if I get this wrong, it means I've got to do everything again. But I'd rather have it looking neat and tidy and down, and it links straight into the Ninjago, rather than just having every single section a mess. Because I know I've got bits and pieces that I need to finish and build, and obviously that takes a huge amount of time. But we're getting somewhere with that corner. I really like how that end of the room looks. This side's a monstrosity because, well, it just needs the X-Men mansion. It would look a million times better. This table, once the Ninjago stuff is down, will then get sorted, because I know how much space I have with the different bits and pieces going in, and then we can create all the different lands and things. But this L shape here is done. So it's all been repaired. There was a 4-hour upload, monstrosity upload of me repairing everything. There's 1 or 2 pieces I still need to order. There's 1 or 2 bits that aren't quite finished because, well, they just weren't in the boxes. So I need to go through the instruction booklet piece by piece by piece and find them. But that'll be in the Ninjago upload. But I think I am. I'm just going to space these ever so slightly. Just so, well, actually I won't need to space them. I just need the base plates. I've got them here, so actually I don't need to worry about breaking them and ruining them. So let's get that down there before I end up grabbing onto it and falling down. So we have got, let me just get this right. So we're putting that base plate down is for the half base plate of the docks and the half base plate that comes with the gardens. Then the next 2, which is that one and that one, is the market, which then takes us there for the new one. So that is where we are at with that. And that will all go down in a long, long line. And then I've got to figure out what is going to go here. Because potentially that could go there. I don't know. Because if I remember rightly, what I said I was going to do, I think I was going to bring all of these forward. So I'm glad I'm doing this now, because it's going to really affect what I'm going to do with these base plates. So let me find you a suitable height and home, which I think you can see what's going on there, I think. Yeah, okay, right. So if these were to come forward, so yeah, set 2, that has to be pushed over that way. So I'm going to have a good bit of fun displaying the Ninjago stuff, because I don't know whether to have that push back, no, hang on, that push forward, and then those push back, and it steps, and then we've got water in front and water behind. So I'm going to need to give myself a bit of space, I think. And also, what is going to be good fun is what we put underneath the Joker mana with regards to the colour of the base plate. I'm tempted just to go all in on black and then have a bit of blue on the black and everything else, rather than just being looking like it's on water. And then figure out what we're going to do with this bit here. So I need to connect all the paths and everything up. So it's going to be, I overthink the Ninjago, which is one of my favourite themes. So I just want to make it sure it looks really, really, really smart. Now I can, not really. I'd say I can come over by a couple of studs, but I don't think I can come over by that much. So that is where we're at with that. So if I say we're going to try and come in from where the shadow box from where it is, and then we can kind of work out how many we've got. I'm going to have to, something's going to have to potentially overlap, which is something I don't really want to happen. But obviously what we're going to have to do is, this is going to get dragged out, the shadow box gets dragged out, base plates go down, and then we basically crack on and go from there. So let's get these green ones up and out of the way, and we can just pull this one over. He said, oh dear, 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 he says. That nearly went horrendously wrong. Let me get you so you can actually see. Let me get it so you can see if it all goes wrong. So that is that. So that is coming over. Spin that round. Like so. They're really in the way, these base plates now. So like I said, don't know how well, because it might just be a Batman base plate, and just try and get some sort of path and display on this one, and then worry about the other side of the table after, because this might take a little while to do. So like I said, it doesn't always go to plan, but I have got all the vehicles. I've got a good selection of minifigures, which was safe and sound until about an hour ago, where I tripped over the actual base plate that they were on, which was slightly embarrassing. Now my only concern is I'm going to put all of these down black, and the vehicles aren't going to stand out, or they might look really smart. So why don't we open up these now and just see what this looks like. Because it is a beautiful, this shadow box, honestly I'm so glad I got it. The detail of the build on it is brilliant, but as you can see, these are extremely dark. No, that's perfect. I think that's exactly what it's going to do, because you've got the red against that one, so that one's okay. You've got the blue for that one, so that's okay. And then the others might get lost a little bit, or they might stand out. So yeah, I think we might be okay. Might be okay with that. So we will get these moved. Just got to be careful I don't fall down the loft ladders as well, because that is a thing that could potentially happen, and it would be a bit of a nightmare. So it'd be funny for you, but it'd hurt for me. Get these out. I can see this is going to be taking a little while, I think. Actually, no, it shouldn't be horrendous. I don't know, I can actually just slide these underneath. I can. Ah, well that's going to save a fair bit of time, because if I don't actually have to move it, that's not gone well. I've just broke the door in half as per normal. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Right, that is under. And I think that is as far to the wall as it will go. I've just got to figure out what is better. That is better. Is that going to be enough underneath though? So what I'm currently messing around with, I just need, roof isn't quite big enough to actually fit you on. Hang on. Right, you're getting a little bit closer. That's all I can give. It's a bit dark in this corner, I know, but it's not much else I can do. So we have got, as per normal, issue with the tables, because you've got that much white on the back on show. So something's going to need to be cut or trimmed or whatever else. But I can get away with it there, look, because it should just be on, because if I'm only coming to here, it's going to be a nightmare. Because this is a base plate and a bit. Oh, it's 2 and a bit. Ooh. Smeg and arse, I think, is the answer to that. So, oh, would you please just stop falling over? Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Right, so if I wanted this to there, that would then be to there. That opens all the way up. And it's got white on show at the back. So it's not going to... Alright, I'll just push them all the way back and I'll worry about the fronts. So that is... does look nice. Because potentially this could be a different colour. It could be a path going in. I need like 16, I reckon that's about 16 studs. I think. I'm going to have something here. So it's not that many base plates on this bit. These are going to get used in the Star Wars under table display as well. So all of these are going to get used and swallowed. That is for sure. I think this is probably the most times I've dropped something. Be able to stand somewhere. Right. Oh, I have just again ripped the top of this door off. Right, it's in. In. We're just going to go to the back of this table. Probably the best thing to do. You can't fit 3 on, as we know. That's what I am currently just double checking. There's no way you can, because if that went all the way back, you've got a bit more of a gap, but the wall's not straight. So that black does look very, very nice. So obviously the only thing I can do is overlay it. I either overlay it or pull it underneath. Might be able to get away with that. So let's try that. Over or under. Don't know what looks better. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, but the cars are going to be in the middle, so I can do this on all of it. I know what you need. I know what you need to go on. You need a bit of timber. There you go. You can kind of see a little bit better now what is trying to be achieved. So that one has to get out of the way. That one then goes underneath. That goes like that. Yeah, we can definitely work with that. I do not particularly want to cut the base plates. But again, when you work with 2 walls that aren't square, because that would work. Like I said, I do not really want to cut the base plate, so I can see it, but not massively. You can't really see it on the camera. There's a little bit of a lip, but nothing too drastic. But I'm going to have to do the same thing again. So I'm going to use 3 more here. I want all this black, because that will take us up to here. That is a waste of 3 base plates though. How many studs is that? To the outer edge we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I could get away with a 16 by 32. I think that's what I need. I need some 16 by 33, 16 by 32s in black. Means I can't really add the tiles until they've arrived. It's a little bit silly doing. Don't mind the overlay at the front because we've got a couple of studs, but doing it on this side as well, it then triple stacks it, and it just doesn't work. So not even I'm that silly to do that. So it means that we have got we've got a fair few of these left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was a pack of 12. It must be a pack of 12 or a pack of 10. So we've got extra than I thought we did, which is good. So that is something completely different. So if we did that, and we did that, I don't know now if the Joker Manor, well, the Joker Manor fitted, so it has to. I think the Joker Manor overlaps, so we might have to have 1 more black one there, a full one, and then 2 16 by 32s. I think the safest thing for me to do is I put 2 more black ones down, get the Joker Manor over and get that placed, then I can see what it's all about. Because it's not, I know it's not going to fit with the Ninjago like that. If it did, then we're absolutely laughing, but I don't think it will. That's very, very dark. The second I put those tiles on there though, I think it's going to look great. So I'm going to stick with this plan. I think it works. I think it works. I just don't know whether, because it's now back in the corner, as I'm thinking about it. Does that look better? Drop down behind the back. Or is it? Nah, it does look pretty cool. We'll keep it like that. I will blue tack it in place and get it all together. And yeah, I think that will work quite nice, because that needs to. Clips back on, like so. Yeah, that will do for now. That actually looks all right. It's just not quite big enough for the whole thing, but you get the idea of what we're trying to do with that. Now, if I get the Joker Manor in, then I'll try and mess around with the minifigures. I'm going to try and pull potentially the one. Yeah. Cars. Joker Manor. Cars. Forgot about them. Let's get these back in. we can see what is what. There's Patterson's Batman. That is the Batman. So, it's got to figure out, because this is going to be a car, basically it's a car museum with a walkthrough. So I'm going to have the path itself is just going to go around the cars. So that's not going to be too much of a problem for me, as long as I can get them all in. Because we've got some nice looking ones, and we've got the bikes and things, so I just need to leave room for the path. That is coming up there though, isn't it? So maybe could go like Right, you need a battery, and I actually need to find the other bike. Right, that was nice and simple because the battery was right beside the bike. So one brand new battery, and I think that is Selena Carl's bike, which is great. Now, tumbler is the one thing that is needed. I think what I'm going to have to do is put all the minifigures back up top, because we had the minifigures up top on the shadow box. I can add them into the actual shadow box as well, which is fine. But yeah, the cars, yeah, they fit nicely. He's going to be adding in all the tiling is going to be the interesting thing. But I have one bike and another bike over there. I've somehow got to try and get the tiling all the way around that, and that isn't. There we go, now it is. I could spend ages trying to do this over and over and over, but I've got to put the Joker Manor in first to see where it goes because of the angle of the feet. Pull the Joker Manor back out again, and then potentially start actually getting some tiles down on this, as long as this one can come out. If not, I can figure out what we can do with it. And we can, like for example, do I add the minifigures by the cars? Do I put the other DC stuff up top? So we've got like the Superman up on there, we've got Cyborg up on there, so we've just got other DC bits, obviously not related to Batman as such, but the Eraser is. And then I think there's a Green Lantern down here. There is. Green Lantern can go up on there, and then the rest of the minifigures potentially can go across the top, because I think they're just down here. We have got Ninjago minifigure there. I know what you're doing there. Right, how badly did these all? Yeah, quite bad. Quite bad. Right. Here's the first handful, and then I will go back in for the second handful. So there's a load of minifigures. We've got the penguin, different penguins in there, different Mr. Freezes are there, we've got a different Alfred, and obviously all that kind of thing. And there's another Soups just there without his hair, so that's your hair piece just here. Of course, before I do anything, there's Alfred, there's Selena, so she can come out from there. I want to put really the minifigures from this set in there. So I think you've got an exclusive penguin, got Alfred, you've got the first hard cape for Batman, which is obviously a nice thing. I think I have him actually stood. No, have him stood in front of the car? I think I can. Yes, so he can be stood, oh, that looks quite nice. So he'll be stood right in front of the car. The cape is so long at the back. It is silly. But it's got no flex, so will you stand up or not? Yes, just. Yep, right, that works. The Bruce Wayne minifigure. I'll be adding to these obviously as I go. That woman has decided to escape, so she needs to come back in. I think actually that was all of them that I picked out from there, because I've been making some shorts with them as well, so I can pull them out and obviously pull Bruce Wayne out and all that kind of thing. Good thing is I can reach the shadow box, I think, so that should be, he says, that should be okay. It's just what I'm going to do with the other bits and pieces. So there's Catwoman, there's Batman for that vehicle. So we're going to penguin him, Catwoman up there. Yeah, we can just get the rest of the minifigures in the shadow box as I find them. So those minifigures can go in the corner, and obviously now, I keep saying about it, I need to finally move the Joker Manor. Try and get that in, and figure out what is going to be happening after that. So I've got to be careful I don't fall down the loft hatch, because I've got my foot in a very awkward place. Right, so far, let's say, oh, I was about to say so far so good, and I've just jinxed myself, because of course I've broken something on, actually that's one of the first bits to fall off this since in a long time. So the amount of times that this set's been moved, that's not too bad. So as long as that's the only thing that falls off, we should be good. Now this is going to get a little bit difficult, because I've got to lift it kind of up onto the base plate. Oh, definitely, oh, that's the, yeah, okay. And this is going to go bad, because I've got to put some pressure on it to pick it up. Right, so that is on. Just need to angle it round, and then I guess I'm going to have a bit of a fight with the cars, I think. But this bit is the bit that decided to ping off, so I'll get you straight back on. I'm going to do my best so it doesn't overhang. Right, so that is on completely, and that one is out. So with the two 16 by 32s, that could well be how that display is going to go, because you would have to look in and around for the actual cars, and then I think I might be able to find some colours and potentially tile that bit, I think. So maybe it might make more sense of just adding as many different minifigures so I can see them as possible from all of the different sets, and then it's just literally a walk-through museum with different bits and pieces. For it's not going to be that many tiles really. I don't think it's going to be that many tiles. I will park the cars, probably going to have to relocate the cars and park them a little bit differently. I think this was actually spun a different way. It might have been twisted a little bit more, not too much, but I think it might have been. We can't go Can't do too much more because it'll hit the ceiling. So, well, to be honest, it can come right to the edge of that base plate and it'll give me more space for the cars, won't it? So that is what I've got to work off then. So if I remember that it comes right off the edge there, right in there, the path will come through, and obviously it goes down the alleyway, and then there'll be a base plate at the end, which will be a different colour path that then takes us into this bit. This now is definitely going to be a different upload, because I know how long this has already been. So as per normal, it just takes a lot longer. So can I actually... I kind of need to mark where... With that goes there. That one goes there like so. I think if I angle the tumbler kind of backwards, yeah, the path is just going to be kind of a horseshoe. I think that's where and what it's going to be. I'm going to find some bright tiles. We're going to put some tiles against the black base plates, and I think what I'm then going to do is probably sleep on it and then tile it in the morning, so we get an understanding of just how bright the colours are up against the black base plate. So we have quite a few options. Now I was thinking that this would be our minty blue. I thought that would look quite nice against the Batman. But I might do a little bit of research. I've got a funny feeling I've got hot pink in here as well. So there's lime. There's just some random bits and pieces. There's a load of water tiles. Well, they're not going to be any good, are they? Right, we've got lime, deep green. We've got a mint. We've got a royal blue. So there's all sorts of different blues that we can have against the blue. There's more of a royally blue. That is potential. That's a really nice blue, that one. We've also got black. Well, I'm not going to do black against black, but I was thinking black against purple. These aren't all... These all the colours? Maybe they are. I thought I had a pink, but maybe I was being stupid. I've got a brown. We've got red. We've got some white. We've got some lime green. No, we don't have a hot pink. So maybe we won't do that. Because I'm only thinking that because the Joker had pink and purple on it at the front. I just thought it'd be quite nice to mirror those two colours. So if we're going to be trying to mirror the green, well, it's going to have to be the lime green against the black. Or we could just go for this really nice blue. I think the mint, don't think the mint's going to work, but I will grab a base plate, and what we will do is we will make up just a little thing, a couple of studs of each, and just see if it will work. Now the box that I've put right in the way, can I reach? Oh, just. I'm not too sure what's just falling over, but it sounds like it's smashed, so that's okay. So we have got loads of these, which is obviously the grey tile. And now I know, as per normal, I am casting a shadow everywhere. But if I do this, try and keep them, I guess I'm going to have to go side by side to that should be enough, and then we'll go just 3 deep just to see which colour is better. and I will have a think. And if I think the pink still works better against the Batman, we can still put the tiles down for the grey, and then I just have to order those colours in, because I think it's going to be the only opportunity to add in the pink. So yeah, let's have a, I mean, what have we got? So we've got a nice deep blue. There's the blue. Let me look at the others. I will get it into the light so you can see it a little bit better. There you go. If I get my head out of the way, you can see. So, because I'm going to sleep on this myself anyway. You just see exactly what is what. That's lime green. Not too sure why I've done a double bit and then not done one on there and done another one there. So that's, oh yeah, mint. Can go well. Oh, gosh. Ow, that wasn't even down, that one. It just refused to come out, got wedged in. And we will try. I'm gonna have to do another row because we've got one more. We've got one more colour option. See, that is probably the more striking colour out of all of them so far. But I am tempted by pink, just because there's plenty of pink on the Joker Man. Of the red, I think it'd be too dark. I have got red. I'll just do one against each, like so. That is not the bag that I want. If I just put a load of water tiles down then, that is not a good look. Which is going to be the better colour. You know what, I think it's going to have to be red rather than the pink, because we painted the wall red for Batman, didn't we? So I've got a bag of red somewhere. I know I've got the red because they're on the base plates. I have got pink. Oh, so I'm missing. I thought I did. I thought I got every single colour. They've got to be on something else. I need more than one pink, but it's a very, very bright pink, as you can see. I think the red's going to have to do it. I think I've kind of made up my mind already, to be honest, but kind of need to look at it like that. Hang on, I'm holding it the wrong way because we're going to have a load of black studs all over the place, aren't we? Yeah, I think the red, that pink is nice and it goes very well against the black, but I think the red of the wall, because obviously it's the Batman, will then link into that. I mean, we could do yellow. I have got yellow tiles because we've been doing that for the Clone War up there. I think maybe when we come over to here for the, I might just have a load of different colours in, because we can figure out what we're going to do eventually for here, because that's going to be on a green base plate, that's going to be on some blue. I think we might have three blues and a green. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. But I think the red might have to go in there just to link up with the red Batman wall. And then the Ninjago is going to be all blue bits and pieces. And then I'll just have to find the rest of the red tiles. They're going to be in a tub, which is really annoying. That's going to be in another one of these tubs. So we'll just get as far as we can, I think, with that tomorrow. I really like that colour. But I don't think it's the right colour for this. That is a beautiful colour and it will go really nicely. But to be fair, this is the colour of that wall. Not far off. That's probably the closest blue colour I have, I think. Oh, I haven't actually put that blue, I haven't actually put on here. That's weird. So we've got two types of blue, because that's not the same blue, look. So yeah, I've got plenty of colours. But going against that back wall, we've got, maybe that one actually is the closest. That one looks nice, but that one might be the closest colour. But that'll be a different problem for a different upload. But this problem I have now is I've got to find the reds if I'm going to go red. But like I said, we will catch back up with everything in the morning. Well, that escalated very, very quickly. We are a couple of weeks on from this Batman debacle. And, well, this has arrived and been built, which looks absolutely fantastic. And I've just done sort of a show-off review video of that, which means, of course, I have just ruined the Winter Village display. And behind me, the big block of cheese is not only just come out the box, it is fully complete and built, and there will be a review video on there coming soon as well. So the reason why it's so dark on the back wall and on that back wall is because all these lights are facing downwards, so we will spin some of those around in a second to see what is what. But I have lost the big block of cheese box and it's been replaced by, well, those. It just doesn't end, does it? So what we are going to do is we are going to try and do some little bits of tiling, because I want to see what the red looks like against the black. I think it will look very, very smart, but I have not yet had any time whatsoever to find any of the red tiling. Now I am hoping that it is just down on there, because we have got a little bit of red just on that bit as well. I was going to do something different for the Marvel Street. I found the hot pink, which does look very, very good. There is some more tiles and things down at the back, but I can't find, of course, the bag of red. So this might be a shorter upload than normal, because I will just, well, and ah and place where I think the path is going to go. Now, at the point of this being filmed, the new Ninjago set has already come out, so I know we're weeks apart. But because of all these different arrivals and things, I've focused my time on here now, rather than actually going off and getting the new Ninjago set. So I still hope that this is not going to be a complete waste of time, because like I said, I'm still not 100% sure how the new one's going to fit underneath the Joker Manor, and if I can get them all going down. I know we did measure it up at the start, and I just really, really hope that we have got the height and the scale and everything okay. So I am now going to get all the tiles that I needed. We're going to get these boxes and that bit out the way, so there'll be some clear space on there. And then we will start, if possible, to actually put some tiles down in this video. Okay, lights have been spun round. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to get the Ninjago facing the right way as well, because I think I have a plan of attack for that. I think I'm going to get the newer one before I get the market, to see if it will actually go where this Joker is. Because if the Joker Manor is not tall enough, I think we're going to be in trouble. Because I've been really looking at that set. I've not yet seen it in person. I will try and get down to a Lego store sooner rather than later and see exactly what's going on. Because obviously what I don't want to do is have to rip all these tiles up and basically start to lose my fingernails and bleed as they all start to come off. But at the same time, it's a gamble, because I can start it and we'll go from there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of black down. Sorry, we're going to put a little bit of colour down on the black tiles, see what it looks like, put the Joker Manor back, because obviously it has to be pulled out, and then we'll just put the Ninjago a little bit neater and tidier, because at the moment it is obviously just all thrown there. And then of course when I get all of the sets together, I'm going to do what I've just done on that one, do a big comparison of what looks best, and we'll get them all run down. So it's this corner and really the other corner can't be carried on with or tiled too much until I think I know that set can fit there, because if this has to move, that side's okay, I can do bits and pieces with that, but it depends if then the Batman goes onto that table and different things come over to here and yada yada yada. We all know how this game works because of the sloping roof. So we have got a few red bits to add. We're going to try and add a few of tiles as well. But like I said, I think I finished the segment going, I will catch back up with you the following day, and we are a couple of weeks later. So everything kind of went a little bit crazy for a week or two, as per normal. Couldn't get back up in here and do all the stuff that I want to do. And now the plans I had for this, after really seeing the new set, and yeah, sort of sat on the fence a little bit with it. But of course we know that this has to come out, and I have decided to go for the red. I think the red obviously is the better colour, because that is what I said I was gonna decide on. The problem is you can't see the cars against the black. That is the other problem as well, because I think potentially if they were grey, it might be a little bit better. So I don't know whether, because I've seen it now for a while, if those lights aren't spun around the right way, it's extremely dark in this corner, and this you just can't see it very, very well. But would a lighter colour make the cars stand out a little bit more, because they sort of get swallowed up by the colour? Now, I don't know if it's better for me right now to move the Joker Manor, put some grey down, and just see what it's like, and then I'll let you guys and girls decide what's best, and not do the tiles, do the Ninjago bit, and then basically move on to the next project and come back to this at a later date. Because I know that's going to go green and blue, so that's fine. You've got water and other little bits and pieces on there, but it's just very, very dark. You're going to see the path lovely, but you're not going to see, well, you can't see the cars. You can see that one fine, you can see the blue one okay-ish, but there's three down there. You can't really see them at all. So let's pull this out, and I think what I might do is we'll half it. Oh, I definitely don't want that to happen. We will put some grey down, or a different colour down, against the black, and then we will see what that is like, because again, that's as much brightness as you're going to get. Now I can kind of see it, but it isn't really that eye-catching, to be honest. We could go crazy and go white, but I just don't think that's gonna work. So we've got the grey, but I just don't know how well the grey's going to work with the path, and I don't know if it is going to work with the vehicle. So is it just too dark anyway? Is it just casting too much of a shadow? Oh, you know, I think you can see it a little bit better. Because if that was like that, and we'll just swap that one over like so, and then lift that back up. I don't know. I just don't want to put all the tiles down, and this would be horrendous. I am very, very tempted just to put this Joker Manor back, get the Ninjago facing forward, and just cut my losses with the time that I've done with this, and then basically have a real good think of what would potentially be a better option. because if we could go for a completely different colour, just to be really weird and wonderful, and then do the opposite path effect, like could I get bright red tiles, bright red base plates for example, and then have the black path instead of the red, and just invert the colours the other way around. I think the cars might show off a little bit better with a really nice colour underneath. Would the shadow box then look a little bit brighter with a brighter floor, but then would a... Oh, the red floor, I don't know, the red floor wouldn't look too bad. I mean, obviously it's not cave-like, but I don't know what other colour base plates I can get. But these are going to get used with a really nice purple on. But me putting black on black, after trying to look at it for a little while, I'm just not 100% sold. And I've only been recently thinking about it because I just can't, if I can't see it, what's the point of having it sort of hidden like this? I don't know if something completely different needs to go in this corner for whatever reason or whatnot, but we will get this, we'll get this put back. We'll get the Ninjago facing forward, and then we'll just see how it unfolds on the next few uploads. So it's not ideal, I know. Obviously what I don't want to do is break this. I'm stuck on that base plate I've just done. I'm also stuck on the car as well, there we go. Alright, so that is roughly how far that will go. That's that car back in there. Yeah, it's going to have to be... I think it's just too tight maybe. There's something that's not settling with me quite right on that. Because even if I flip these two over and had the shadow box a straight line against that wall straight on the table, it might be a bit more clear. A bit like how that one is with this, because obviously all of this isn't here. It's just a little bit frustrating really, I'm not going to lie. Oh, broken it. Yeah, not ideal. So let's just get this Ninjago facing forward, getting it actually looking like it should be looking like. And at least that way that's something else that's done, because that does not look fantastic at the moment. And then we'll have a much bigger play with this when it's time for all the Ninjago stuff. But yeah, I don't know if it's my lighting in here or whatnot. I think the problem is the grey and the red would look smart as a path, but I think it might need to be the lighter grey rather than the darker grey as well. So I think I've really got the wrong coloured tile. So I might order some lighter grey and just see what it can be done. Because I have got some 1x2s, which is potential. But let's just have a little bit of a move around with this. I'll just put the boat at the angle for now. We'll put that one like that. That's not good. That's the minifigure that's just fallen down the stairs. There's the skateboard. So the minifigure that's fallen off. Fantastic. All of these go in front of that, so I don't make that mistake again. What I was about to say is the city faces forward and the dock is next. So we'll get that out, pull that round. He says, I can't pick that one up from there, so we'll play tag. With these, and at least that way, for me, I can see them a little bit better. that, because that instantly works and connects and looks fine. But I will be in the Ninjago video figuring out if it's a better way of spinning that one the other way around. And this one, and that one goes in there. That one then goes against that one, which looks very, very nice and effective. See, that just looks much better. And then we can just have it like that for now. So hopefully that was actually pointing at the right-ish direction. So it's a start. But yeah, I just need to figure out what's going on with that one. I need to get the rest of that roof bit built up, because that is in the spring lantern box. Spring lantern set's going to go in that corner. And then we can crack on and go from there. And the boat for now, that can just be angled like that, and then we can basically see what's what. So it's not gone to plan whatsoever, as it normally doesn't. It does mean that at least that's now facing the right way, and we've got a very, very big Ninjago upload, because obviously what's going to happen is I'm going to get the newer one, compare it all, so it's all going to come out, and it's all going to basically, the Ninjago upload is all going to start on the table, and then we can figure out if that's the best way of putting it, or the other way is the best way of putting it. And again, I'm not going to know until I've got the outer edge, so I might as well get the less brick count, slightly cheaper set first, and then basically get the markets just to fill the gap and just have 2 base plates of space until I then pick up that one. And the other thing that's put me off is there's no giveaway with them. So when it came out, there was no giveaway at all. It's only the Ferrari giveaway for that one, which is only with other Ferrari cars. So I don't particularly want to get both of the sets at the same time, sit on one of them for ages, and of course it's a lot of money, sit on it for absolutely ages, and a good giveaway comes out, and then I could have just got it then and then built it. So yeah, I don't like to sit on a load of boxes, because it's always the way. Or you pick them up when it comes with an exclusive giveaway, or it does come with a good giveaway. But now you know what I'm going to have to do next. It's putting all of this back. So the next video to follow this, it means that will then be neat and tidy. And then at some point that will have to be redone, because we will have a stand for that one over, he says if that light will spin round, over on that bit. So that will obviously be up against the wall. So I'll order all of those. And then, yes, just have to figure out what we are going to be doing with the shadow box. It's the only thing I'm really stumped on, to be honest. I think it works there, it's just the colours don't. I can get a brighter floor with a different, and then put the black on a bright colour as a walk around. The cars will show a lot better. I just don't know if I can do anything with the Harry Potter, so it's not casting so much of a shadow into that corner. It doesn't help that the light is the furthest away from this corner as well, so it's not the most ideal thing. But that is for me to figure out in a completely different upload. So it was a swing and a miss on this one, but that is it, and I am done.